Now think about what happens when somebody disagrees with you in the meeting. So as our brain is, that's how it is wired. So when somebody disagrees with you in the meeting or something, then the emotional part, consider it as an attack. And that is why we either get angry, we either get defensive, unless and until you have the attitude of keeping the very open mind. I'll give you one example. I was talking with one of my cousin who might be 15, 20 years older to me. He's a doctor. And I was talking about, there is a very interesting book called The Salt Fix. Okay. I'm forgetting the author, but he talks about the myth that having more salt will increase the blood pressure. So he has in his whole book, he's talked about how in the initial 1904, just based on 6 experts, these things started moving. There was a lobby of sugar, there was a lobby of salt. I think the lobby of sugar won, and what is right now. Many people are obese, because of eating a lot of sugar. Okay. So while I was talking with him, he said, no. Anything, any food we eat has sugar and salt. So whatever you eat extra, salt, it is going to harm you. I said, no, there is a new, book, but he was not ready to listen to me. Okay. Because there are several aspects. One is, as you can understand, experience brings ego, because you think that, I know more than you. Okay. Second is the cultural environment you are in, that also brings a lot of ego. So for example, in my culture, India, we have a hierarchical culture, okay? And we respect a lot of people who are elder to us, for example. So that also brings a kind of ego, okay? That as I'm, elder to you, then I know more than you, okay? But what happens is that in this particular process, or even power brings ego. You will see powerful people, or success brings ego, right? Mm-hmm. Once you become successful, you stop responding to your friend's email, whatever. It's a very normal human phenomena. You will see,
That's
right?
Yeah.
So, but what's happening in this particular process is that you are not able to make a good decision because you are not ready to listen to a contrarian point, which could be right. So the way the discussion I could have witnessed was that, okay, which book you are talking about? Okay, let me read it and see, was it based on any clinical study or something? What are the arguments in favor of having a salt, for example? I expected that, but that was not the case. And it's very normal, that you see even in your meetings when you have with your professional people, you will see that it's very difficult for people to listen to your arguments, because what happens is, it's a surprising thing, because we are considered that humans are rational. But actually 90% or 80% of the time we are irrational, because what we do is that we already come out with our belief first. So ideally to make a good decision, we should first do a lot of research, okay, and do a due diligence, and then we should have our belief about something. But it's the other way around. We come out with a belief first, and then we try to explain that belief, without reasoning.
Yeah, that was explained actually, I remember in a TED talk, I can't remember by whom, but they actually said 90, something like even 99% or something really huge of all the decision making is done on an emotional level first, and then you rationalize it by finding proof to what you have already decided.
Exactly. So, and I think I might have mentioned to you, I was very fascinated with Ray Dalio, who started Bridgewater with the whole argument of radical transparency. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that is his whole idea, which I also inculcate at Farmantra, where I'm always eager to listen to somebody who might be, let's say, even 15 years, 20 years younger to me. Okay. Because it helps me to understand, how do I know I'm right? Okay. Because the important thing is that, on a sheet of paper, if you want to put down how much you know about the world versus how much you do not know, how much will be a kind of dot, and how much you do not know could be a whole. If you kind of whole, like a circle, or let's say a big, something shape, right? I think, if you kind of put it, on a scale basis, right? So having the humility to at least start with that yes, I do not know everything, is the first step for a good decision making. Okay. And that comes with one barrier, which is ego. Okay. um, Another is the blind spot, which is, I could also explain it as an inside view and outside view. So let me explain. um, one of the time, one of our project was to work on a financial planning, okay, of a very young company. Okay. And I was very fascinated, and I'm myself, as a finance person, I'm more fascinated was instead of accounting balance sheet, I should put a finance balance sheet. Okay. So what I did was that, in the accounting balance sheet, you have assets, liabilities, and in the financial balance sheet, I put assets as, okay, value you get from existing assets and value that is going to get from the growth assets. Okay. That was a kind of concept. What happened was that my client got completely confused. And he even sent me a note saying that, I'm really worried if I have really, taken a right decision to hire you. So, but I got the point. The point was that I was able to understand everything because I was looking from my point of view. Okay. But a person who is not from finance background, okay, who is from the science background, he's looking from his point of view. Okay. So that's an outside view. And I'm talking about my view, which is an inside view, and which is a blind spot. So I understood the problem. I said, don't worry about that. Okay. And then finally, I have learned, that lesson that, you have to look from the eyes of your client or the other side person. Okay. And then I completely changed it, and the result was that was one of the best financial planning that we did it for one of the client. It was a huge learning for us, right? So if you see the decision making process in the normal times today, when the world is very polarized, okay, try talking with somebody, especially politics. It is so polarized that the other side, I'm actually, I want to find a person whom I can sit down and say that, look, in my country, okay, I understand that, there is a problem. This is X, Y, Z. What is your counterpoint of view? But it doesn't happen like this. Okay. The other side comes with already their own belief, okay, with set beliefs, and, they are not able to listen to you. And that's why the world is getting more polarized and polarized, right? Okay. In this point of view. So I think if we focus on these two aspects, I think more than half of the decision making process, we are going to kind of, remove it, the barriers of the good decision making actually. This will at least increase the probability of making a good decision. There is nothing called a perfect decision making, because as we said, there is something also called randomness or luck, in the future, which we do not have any control, right? But at least it will allow us to increase the chance or probability of, making a good decision.